What's up, guys? Nick Sloak here of Die Aftershock. Here with Kyle, the event coordinator for the Rocky Mountain Rocky Mountain Paintball League.
That's correct.
Kyle, how are you this fine morning?
I'm good. Thanks. Thanks for the time, Nick. Really appreciate being on here and being able to tell you a little bit more about the league.
Well, since you said it, let's talk about the league and what's going on in 2024 in Colorado.
Yeah. So the Rocky Mountain Paintball League takes place in Brighton, Colorado. It's maybe 15 minutes outside of Denver. You can actually see Denver from that part of town. And then it's also maybe 15, 20 minutes away from Denver International Airport. So the field's super close. We've been running the RMPL now for about 4 years. Let me pop into PB leagues. I believe it was 2019. It was. I know that we were running like through the whole 2020 debacle. Currently we're in it 4 years now. Yeah. So our first event was in 2020, and at the time, Colorado paintball was going. It was in a transitional period. There's a couple of players in town, but nobody was really offering X ball, and yeah. So it was all race 2 formats, which is great. Local competition. I've been around the scene for a long time, decade plus, and that's what I grew up playing. And if you wanted X ball, you traveled out and you went elsewhere for that. So, the owner, Tony, he's a great guy. You'll see him around at events, and he pops in and out every once in a while. He wanted to grow the sport here. He wanted to foster the tournament paintball scene. He had been out at an NXL event and says, "Hey, how do we grow this business with what we got?" He said, "Hey, we gotta push some paint." Well, who's shooting the most paint? Tournament guys. So, we said, okay, what does it look like to make a few bucks, but then also, truly from our hearts say, let's offer competitive paintball in Colorado, make prizes worthwhile, make entrances not super expensive for everybody to be able to play, and, host an X-Ball league that looks like, a solid regional event. And that's what we've developed over the last 4 years. And, this year we're able to partner with Die a little bit, which is amazing. And we're excited to be here with you to, carry that forward.
Heck yeah, baby.
Yeah,
It's
we're pumped.
happening. We're
We're
all going to
pumped.
Colorado.
Yeah, come on through. We got 3 events this year. So the first one's in May 18 and 19. There's a couple spots left available. We generally take about 20 teams as a maximum for the events. Some big news actually is that we're working on a brand new facility out in Aurora, Colorado. That new
Nice.
facility that we'll transition to likely into next year, it actually has 2 competitive fields there.
Oh,
So
that'll help, huh?
yeah, running through this year, we're running about 20 teams an event. Currently for the first one, we're sitting at about 13. There's a D4 and D5 competition for anybody that may be out there wanting to play, come into Colorado, got family. It's a great place to be, really. You got the mountains in the backgrounds. We set it up in May. I think we got another one. Let's see here, I'm looking at the calendar. Yeah, in July, and then another one in September. So it's like prime time for Colorado paintball. Tight. We paid attention to NXL dates, WCPPL dates to try and, offset and be player friendly that way. So, if anybody wants to come to Colorado, it's a great time.
See, I do. Just you said
Yeah.
once you said D4, or was it D4 and D5?
Yep. D4, D5.
Yeah, I think they frown upon my ranking hurts me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I can come hang out and just heckle from the
you can
sidelines though.
certainly show face, Nick, like cameras in your face and a couple of
Man,
live later. It'll
dang.
be a party. Bring
Okay,
it.
so
Bring Dylan up. Fly him out.
I'm gonna work on it. So 3 events this year, May 18th, in July, and then September. Now, here's a question with that big news you dropped in the transition, or the field possibly opening up in Aurora. Does that mean your current location would no longer be around?
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
looking forward a little bit. We're going to transition out of our Brighton location into the Aurora location. That's going to be 2025 stuff. For
Okay.
2024, we're going to be running on that the one field that we have in Brighton, and players can bank on that being the location for the season.
Okay, cool. I was thinking like, oh man, that'd be dope if you had two locations, then you'd have events at both spots. But now that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, we're kinda out here in the West too, so there's only so much paintball that hits around around home. We do our best to work with all the local teams in town. We have friendly relationships with all the big organizations. Shout out to, Altitude Sickness. We talk to those, they play at our field. They're a home team with us as well. We got Modelo A team that's playing out of our spot.
I
But
hear
then all
like
the
some
teams.
guy, a really good guy, plays for those dudes.
What's that?
I think there's a really like there's an all-star player named Kyle that plays for those Modelo guys.
Yeah, I mean, he might be on the roster. We'll see. See if he's broken or not. See how the season goes out. Yeah, so that's we got some teams coming out of here like that. Denver Altitude is a semi-pro team.
I
That's
played for them
actually
one time.
yeah, back in the day, man. They're back. They're back.
Oh,
Denver Altitude. Let's go. Um, they're actually going to be the reffing crew for the league this year.
oh, nice. Okay,
Yeah, so those it's really cool actually. Those guys are stepping up and they're going to be, these semi-pro players that are out on the field. They know what it's like to get refed at a high level. They obviously have knowledge about the game. We wanted to solidify refing. So working out with them is awesome because,
that's
they're going
smart.
to give D4 and D5 players
Yeah,
a semi-pro ref game. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
I definitely know what you mean. On Aftershock many moons ago, we would rep the Badlands series, and as much as we loved it as players, it definitely was nice because we knew what we were doing. We knew how we wanted to be refed and how we were refed on the pro field
mhm.
throughout the NXL and the MPPLs that we participated in. And so I enjoyed it a lot. And I think it's one of those things where, and this I can go down the rabbit hole with this, but if you're going to be a player and compete in regional national series, yeah, go out and ref. Like it's easy to criticize the refs when you're a player and you show up and you just go in the pit and play, but you want to make it better, go out there and ref some people. And if anything too, especially if you have the opportunity to ref, say, a Young Guns event, give people pointers, man. It's not just about calling people out and throwing penalties. Just
Yeah.
help the younger generation grow, and that's nice. I really like to hear that elevation altitude is going to be at a higher elevation, refing refing the tournament.
Yeah, and it speaks to so many different areas too. I mean, those guys, D4, D5 looks up to those guys. They are top talent in
Mhm.
town. They got the cool jerseys. They're playing on, the top tier field where you can watch live streams, follow their game. So it's like, from a D5 player aspiring, and I touch those guys pretty often, getting players into the field. Hey, this is how you get involved. Here's some altitude sickness guys. Like they got a great organization. They'll help you grow. To see a DA player come through and act classy. Those guys all got class, and they're all great guys. You know, they look up to him, and exactly right. Along the field, it eliminates bias, so there's nothing to talk about there. But it also is like those guys are going to be like, hey man, on the next point, you play good, but maybe do this or do that, or hey, pay attention to a chin strap, or pay attention to a little bit of splatter on your paint on your jersey. Just those little mistakes that like in a tournament you got to call, but at the same time you can educate through through your experience. So yeah, I think that'll happen at the field on the field as well for just little things.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Like, I think you hit the nail right on the head. It gives these younger divisional players and teams like that's their aspiration, right? To get to that level and work their way up. And these are the guys doing it because, I mean, Colorado, and I don't, and I can't speak about the entire state, but I know Denver's got a pretty rich history of paintball, and
Yeah.
so to be able to have the guys that are essentially at the top being like setting that example and refing that the series is great. Like that's nice to hear. That's
Yeah.
really nice to hear.
So I mean, that's one of the things about the league this year that we're most excited about. Having those guys on board, it's going to be amazing, and yeah, you're gonna get a good game.
Awesome. Well, this is exciting, man.
Yeah, I got all kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
we're
We came
go.
prepared for you, Nick.
I'm calling Andy. We're coming. We're going to come out there. All right. Well, that's awesome. So you heard it here first from Kyle, event coordinator. 3 events this year. Looking big things coming in 2025. We'll probably look to touch base with you more on that this year.
Yeah.
Where can people find more information on the Rocky Mountain Paintball League?
Yeah, so to follow what we got going on, we're rocking our Facebook page. You can search Rocky Mountain Paintball League on Facebook. You'll find it. Our logo's there. You follow us there. You can also follow us on Instagram under the American Paintball Coliseum handle. We'll cross post all of our content there as well. And then if you want to play in an event, you can sign up for the event that's active right now, May 18 and 19 on PB Leagues, or you can follow the league on PB Leagues as well to see upcoming dates and potentially play the rest of the season.
Yes. And we'll be sure to incorporate all of those, maybe below or above, or I don't know, however this is videos edited, but we'll make sure
Yeah,
we got all those in this
you know
post.
what you need, man. I got links, links on
Yeah.
links. On links.
Yeah, we'll get the links in there. Well, awesome. Well, Kyle, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add about the league in 2024?
Not that's getting into the weeds, just a general message there. We're inviting all players from across the country to come experience it. If Denver's on your radar, come through, play a paintball event, and we're super excited to see all the players wherever they may come from this year. Super pumped to have a great season.
Awesome. Well, Kyle, from everyone here at Die, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk to me.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
we wish you the
Pleasure.
best of luck. And you guys can all stay tuned for more information coming from the league in 2024.